what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Footcandle Films. Film news and reviews from two guys who really like movies.
This episode is brought to you by the Footcandle Film Society. For a schedule of upcoming screenings and membership information, visit the Society's website at www.footcandle.org.
Hello and welcome to Footcandle Films. This is Chris, and with me today is not Alan, but it is Mary Margaret Baker from Chick Chat. Welcome, Mary Margaret.
Thank you. If you can't get Alan, you get the little sister, right?
I mean, and she also knows a lot about movies. If you've listened to Chick Chat, you'll hear him talk about, among other things, movies at times. So thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And today is a special day. Yes. You may have heard March 4th, we're going to be having the 90th Academy Awards. Today, they actually announced the nominations, and I said, you know what? We've got to do an episode today of Footcandle Films. It's very news-oriented, so we'll bring Chick Chat in to kind of, help me run the show. So,
sounds great. I'm excited.
Without further ado, I'm going to take our first category, and it is Lead Actress. Our nominees are Sally Hawkins for The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and, of course, it's not the Oscars if she's not nominated, Meryl Streep for The Post. Mary Margaret, what's your initial thoughts?
Well, I will say that I have seen 3 of these movies.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty proud of my movie watching that I've been building up to. I still have more to watch, obviously, before the 4th, but...
Which 3 have you seen?
I have seen Shape of Water.
Okay.
3 Billboards.
Okay.
And Lady Bird.
You and I are on the same page. I have also only seen 3 of these.
Okay. Are those the ones you've seen?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
I really want to see I, Tonya.
I do too.
But I have not. And I think that I'm going to really like it, but...
if you can never tell from trailers.
Sure.
But from the trailer and just... I think it'll definitely be interesting. I think I'll like it. But
I think I'll like it because of the way it's done and because that was such a hot topic in my actual childhood.
It's
it was something
lived through.
I
Absolutely.
know
So we have kind of a basis that we can kind of judge what we think about it. Yeah, it's interesting.
So I'm just going to lay this out there.
Okay.
I don't like Frances McDormand.
Okay.
I really
don't like her in the movie?
No, in anything.
Don't like her in general?
I really don't like her, period.
Not a fan.
Pretty sure we wouldn't be friends in normal life. I don't think... I just don't care for her in anything I've ever seen her in, or even in red carpet stuff or interviews and whatnot. I just don't care for her.
Gotcha. Okay.
I watched the movie because I love Woody Harrelson. Yes. Okay. And now I'm a Sam Rockwell fan too, but not a bad movie.
Sure.
Bizarre.
It is. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you talked about Golden Globes on Chick Chat.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. She was awarded Golden Globe for this. And the movie is kind of all over the place.
Yes.
And a lot of people either really like it or hate the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I like the story, I think.
Sure.
I like the concept and the story. It was just a little too, sometimes I thought like it was too quiet and too stale sometimes.
Okay.
That they wanted to give that impression of like, get ready for what's coming next, get ready. But then it wasn't that big of a deal. So,
got you.
Not that big of a fan of hers.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. Shape of Water, I'm probably like a lot of other people out there. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a great film. Sally Hawkins obviously does an amazing job.
Doesn't get to talk.
For someone who doesn't have to learn any lines, she does a great job.
Sure.
But obviously that's proves even more the talent, to be able to pull off a leading role and you don't say a word. Mm-hmm. Really, that's pretty cool. And so I like that, but I also like her supporting cast in that, which I think makes the entire movie.
Okay.
And I normally, if you would have just told me the premise of this movie, I would have never watched it.
Okay.
Because I'm not big on the whole, let's fall in love with lizards and
got you.
whatnot. But I did like Splash back in the day with Tom Hanks, and
fair enough.
Kind of feel like that's the same thing. So I'm kind of leaning towards her based on performance.
Okay.
But Saoirse Ronan, I mean, Lady Bird, let's just talk about how amazing I love this movie because this is my type of movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think she was great in it.
So I'll throw something out there.
Yes.
Typically, I mean, there again, Mary Margaret and I have just seen this. Is really hot off the press.
Fresh.
Hadn't really had a lot of time to process it, but something Alan and I usually kind of throw out there is, who do we want to win and who do we think will win? So there's kind of two
there's a
different
difference.
things. Right.
Because there's definitely a difference.
And there sometimes there may not be. It's like, here's who I want to win and here's who I think will, so you can kind of, but like.
I would love to see, I would love to see old Lady Bird win. Like, I would love to see her win. She's not gonna.
I kind of agree.
Right.
I don't think
she's just not going to. I would be fine with Meryl Streep not winning again.
I understand. I understand that.
I haven't seen The Post, obviously. I'm sure she's brilliant in it, but I don't want Frances McDormand to win. So if I could get Sally or say it,
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse.
It's a weird.
Saoirse. She's Irish. Yes. Yeah. Saoirse or Sally to win, I would be happy.
Okay, I'm kind of falling into the same lines. Because a lot of times the general knowledge is whoever wins Golden Globe ends up winning that. Not always.
Right. Sure.
But and then the SAG Awards, which those have happened, and I don't remember who won that because
Frances McDormand.
She did. Frances did. So I kind of think, who do I think will win? I think it'll be Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
Who do I want to win? There again, haven't seen Margot Robbie, Meryl Streep, but I kind of want Sally Hawkins to win just because I think it'd be really cool. I'll be honest, the reason I haven't seen The Post is I was waiting until these nominations were announced. I'm sure it's a good movie, but for me, those are like cinematic vegetables. You have to kind of go and eat them, and you learn stuff or learn history, but it's just not my general type of movie.
We've kind of seen that movie before, right? I mean, The Post, I feel like we've seen it.
I mean, we've seen other movies about journalism, and I'm just kind of like, okay, but because it got nominations, I will now eat my cinematic vegetables, and I will go see it. And I'm sure it's good.
Sure.
It's just not my general
Well, it's got Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks in it. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it.
Right.
But I agree. I wasn't like rushing out saying I've got to find this in a theater.
Right. And now I probably will see it.
Yeah. So. Agreed. All right. You comfortable with those?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we get to go on to the actor in a leading role. And the nominees are Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, and Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel, Esquire.
Okay. Full admission there again. We're just going to throw it out there. Ones we haven't seen.
Yes.
Haven't seen Call Me By Your Name.
Oh.
Haven't seen Darkest Hour. And also haven't seen Roman J. Israel, Esquire. So the only ones I can really make a judgment on. Actually, you know what? I've only seen Get Out. So there, because I haven't seen Phantom Thread either. But I've heard a lot of people talk about Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is kind of a tough one. I feel like I can just knock out Denzel Washington. He's great.
Yeah.
But haven't really heard a lot about the movie. I did, kind of came and went. So awesome, he's nominated. Love Denzel, but don't think he's gonna get this one because a lot of times it's how much buzz has there been around it and how many people have actually seen it.
Yeah.
That kind of plays a part. So that one there. Gary Oldman, I think he won the Golden Globe. Don't know if he won the SAG or not.
I believe he did.
But I don't think Timothée Chalamet will win. I don't. I've heard a lot of buzz about the movie. Heard he's really good in it. He's also in Lady Bird. Has a small part in that. But I don't think so. I kind of think it's between Daniel Day-Lewis, Daniel Kaluuya, and Gary Oldman.
Okay.
I just don't know. There are reasons I could lobby. I think Daniel Day, it's his last role, supposedly. Yeah. He's retiring. Obviously, he's good. He's kind of like Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep. Anything he does is good. Daniel Kaluuya has that kind of new buzz because he's a new face, and Get Out got a lot of buzz because it made a lot of money, and it was like this independent film, and black filmmaker doing it. So it has kind of a lot of that going. But I think that may conflict with last year's whole thing surrounding Moonlight. So I think that may, in a way, kind of work against it. Who knows? I think Gary Oldman. So I'm going to say I think Gary Oldman will win.
Yep.
But I kind of want to see Daniel Day-Lewis win just because And I could see the Oscars kind of not giving it to him, but letting him in because it's kind of like it's the career achievement. It's like, here it is.
Yeah.
You did a really good job, and like, peace, I'm out. So that's kind of my thoughts.
Okay. I have seen Call Me By Your Name.
You have?
I have.
Okay.
And Get Out.
Okay.
Yes. So
you've seen one more than me.
Right. I have seen that. I tend to watch some movies on some will not be named sources online.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
So I was just super curious about it and saw it. Yes, Timothée Chalamet is great in it.
Okay.
I will mention that I believe that if you will have seen this, when you will have seen this movie, because I feel you will see it. But
I'll try.
Yes, it is. Armie Hammer is in it with him.
Right.
And I feel he was completely snubbed. Just throwing that out there. So, it's weird because the movie is about the two of them.
Right. So it's kind of who do you choose as actor and who do you choose as supporting? But he wasn't even...
And he didn't even get supporting. Right. So I agree that Timothy's more the focus of the movie, but...
It's his relationship with Armie Hammer.
Armie Hammer.
Right.
And I just feel like I could have been really creeped out by the movie and really weirded out by it.
Okay.
There's a little bit of age difference and there's like mentality difference between the two. I could have been that, but I just got lost in it. I thought it was a really well done movie. It's not flashy. It's not, it's just a simple story and you kind of forget after a while that it's, some of the parts, it's like I said, it was kind of getting adjusted to. There's a little bit of subtitles in it and every once in a while and they throw it in. And the guy that plays Timothy,
plays his dad.
Is in
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Yes, and he is in Shape of Water.
Right.
So that was fun to watch those because I did kind of watch those pretty close to each other.
Okay.
So with that, I sadly do think that Gary Oldman, just from the buzz I've heard, again, I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard the buzz. I feel like he's gonna get it. But I would love to see Daniel Kaluuya win. I really enjoyed Get Out. I know not everybody did, but...
I enjoyed it. I think the reason why, the whole Moonlight thing,
yes.
But also because it was just released so long ago.
Correct.
So it's faded from a lot of people's memories. But yeah, I think it would be cool if...
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if he'd got that. So we'll see. But, I don't think he's gonna. But it would be cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well, we'll move on to actress in a supporting role. The nominees are Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. Okay, so right off the bat, I'll throw out there, haven't seen I, Tonya, we've already talked about that, and I haven't seen Phantom Thread, but I have seen the other three.
Same here.
Okay, good,
yeah,
good.
Fair.
So from what I've scene of Allison Janney and I, Tonya, she looks pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
She just...
looks like part of the reason I would pay to go see it.
Right. There again, who knows from the trailer, but she seems like a presence, a mother of the ages, like playing the mother, bad mother, just deadpan.
Mother in all sense of the words, mother.
Right.
And a mom.
But just, so not having seen it, hard to judge, but I think she probably is amazing in that. Yeah. Mary J. Blige, she's good in Mudbound, but and even though it is a supporting role, I think some of the others that we're going to mention are just so over the top in your face that they're almost like lead performances. For instance, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, amazing.
Absolutely agree.
And she's just, I can't imagine anybody else doing that.
Did you feel like she was a combination of everybody's mom you've ever met? It's just, she's just the perfect blend, on the holidays, the part of the movie, during the holiday, and she's so silly about stuff and so excited and, and then just immediately can turn and kind of be criticizing your outfit. And it's very,
absolutely,
very true to form.
And then Octavia Spencer, like her anyway, and in Shape of Water, she was just perfectly cast for me because it needed, otherwise the movie could get kind of heavy, but she was kind of a little bit of comedic relief, but yet she also added some seriousness about racial relations and how she was treated sometimes. Just really good. So I think this is a very strong category.
Agreed.
But don't know, tough. And I haven't, this one, unlike some of the other ones, I haven't really heard a lot of buzz about who they think is just a shoe-in. I think I'm probably going to say, gosh, it's so early. Who do I want to win? I think I want Octavia Spencer to win. Who do I think will win? I think this may be the love other than possibly a screenwriting. I think maybe Laurie Metcalf. I don't know. It's so hard to say. What are your thoughts?
I think Allison Janney's going to win.
Okay.
And I would love to see Laurie Metcalf win.
Okay.
But I think Allison Janney's going to win.
That's fair enough.
I think, again, based on what I know from the trailers and from the bits that I've seen of it, of I, Tonya, but Laurie Metcalf, I mean, I agree. She was just amazing. Octavia Spencer, I would be completely happy with her winning as well.
She's going to give a fun acceptance speech. You know she
yes.
is.
And as I said before, whenever we were talking about Sally Hawkins, like, as great as I thought Sally Hawkins did, I thought it was because of her supporting cast.
I would agree.
And I believe that Octavia Spencer was a huge part of that.
Yeah, Shape of Water's interesting because I'm definitely on the same page with that. Like, as far as like an ensemble cast, I mean, you know, you have Michael Shannon, you have Michael Stuhlbarg, you have Octavia Spencer, you have Richard Jenkins who plays like her apartment mate or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and like without all those people and the performances they turn in, like you just can't. It's just a really like they don't. I think Globes may do an ensemble. I think maybe they do an award.
I believe so. Yes, they
but
do.
Oscars obviously don't. But if they did, I would say Shape of Water should be up there because it's just amazing.
Yes. So yeah, I mean that one, and I agree with you on Mudbound as much as I enjoyed Mudbound.
Not enough people saw it.
I don't think so. And if you did see it, I don't feel like Mary J. Blige was considered.
She's wasted. I think she's wasted.
Agreed.
She's obviously good. I mean, she got a nomination.
No, definitely.
But they should have given her a little bit more to do.
Yeah, I don't think there was enough of her in there to really justify this.
No.
I guess. That's my
I can see that.
opinion there. So, great. Okay, well then let's move on to actor in a supporting role. And the nominees are William Dafoe, The Florida Project, Woody Harrelson, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Richard Jenkins, The Shape of Water, Christopher Plummer, All the Money in the World, Sam Rockwell, 3 Billboards.
So, All the Money in the World, I guess the role that would have been Mr. Kevin Spacey.
Yes, the big ta-dun.
Yeah, so kind of an interesting. Okay, didn't see the movie.
Nope, I have not either.
And it was kind of one of those. It's a cinematic vegetables for me. Wasn't really interested in seeing it, but now that it has this nomination, and granted, the only reason I did want to see it was because I want to see how Ridley Scott pulled off subbing somebody out.
Sure.
So now I probably will see it, but can't comment on his performance because I haven't seen it.
Yes.
Who do I think will win?
Did you see Florida Project?
Absolutely.
I did not.
Footcandle was actually able to bring it, so I have
was
seen that.
unable to see that, so I have not seen that yet.
Oh, speaking of, since we've already done, a little bit of a digression, actress in a leading role. I didn't think there was a chance that Brooklyn Prince, the girl who's in Florida Project, would be nominated, but she was amazing in that
she's
film.
Worthy of mention.
She's just amazing. But, she's really young, and a lot of that you could say it's the director's way of directing this little kid because, but glad to see William Dafoe got a nomination. That's who I would like to win.
Yeah.
Just because it's such an interesting movie. He gives a really good performance, and it is so different from him because most of his movies, he's like the evil lurking bad guy.
Sure. Absolutely. Creepy.
So, and so in this movie, he's not. And it's just, man, really good performance. I think it may suffer from not enough people have seen it.
Sure.
It does have that whole buzz factor, though. So
it does.
Maybe that'll help.
Did he won something else, didn't he?
There's so many awards.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did or not. I think Sam Rockwell won the Golden Globe, but he may have won a SAG award or one of the Critics' Choice Award. I think he has won something for it.
Okay.
So I'm just not sure what, but he's who I want to win. But I don't know if he will. Now, who do I think will win? Tough. I think I'm probably just going to roll with the Golden Globe stuff there and say Sam Rockwell. So I think we'll win. Who do I want to win? I want to be Willem Dafoe, but those could easily be switched.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I told you that I'm a big Woody Harrelson.
I was going to say this is a tough category for you.
He's not going to win. Just putting that out there.
Okay.
Don't believe it. super happy he's nominated, though. I don't think he was in every other awards. Sam Rockwell has been.
Right.
And I really did like Richard Jenkins in Shape of Water. I think that was, again, part of that ensemble feel, but I don't think he's going to win because he is that part of the ensemble. I mean, I feel like his role had to be there because of the other people.
Sure.
And so I don't think that's going to take place of it. I'm hoping, mainly because I've seen the movie, I hope that Sam Rockwell wins, and I'm a fan. I do think William Dafoe's going to win. I've heard a lot of different buzz about it, so I think he's going to win, but I would like to see Sam Rockwell.
Got you. Well, and the thing, too, that might help Willem is a lot of times when they have two people nominated from the same movie, they kind of split votes.
Yes.
And so you got Woody and Sam both for 3 Billboards, so that kind of diluted.
And
so
I think that even though maybe a lot of people haven't, how is this? Remind me. So all the voting is done by what? A group of people.
Right. Yeah, you have to be a member of the Academy.
Yes.
So basically, they nominate whatever, and then now that the nominations are out, they then get to say, okay, now here's who we think we should win.
And this is why they were pretty sure that James Franco was going to be snubbed. I mean, that's what people were saying ahead of time.
Well, and that's kind of surprising. He's in. I mean, it's a biography, but it's not. It's kind of a comedy and everything.
Yes,
but he is amazing. Have you seen The Disaster Artist?
I have not seen it. What clips I have seen and some of the stuff I've read about it. I mean, I don't doubt that he can play that type of guy. Right. And when he won the Golden Globe for that, and and then he showed up at the SAG Awards.
Okay.
Or, excuse me, he ditched the SAG Awards, I believe.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah, I believe he ditched it, but he was nominated.
Okay. Interesting.
I think that's what it was.
I didn't know he had ditched those. Huh.
He was nominated for leading actor. I know that, but then he ditched him because he's probably smart.
Because I guess he had a feeling maybe he had no chance of winning, and so he's like,
I think he didn't want to get beat up on the red carpet.
Ah.
Yeah, so.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Sam Rockwell did win the Screen Actors Guild as well as the Golden Globe.
So yeah, if you're doing Vegas odds or whatever, you'd probably go with Mr. Rockwell. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So that is an interesting one. And just to back up just a quick tiny bit on the male actor, we were curious about who the screen actor was, and Gary Oldman did win for Darkest Hour. Okay,
so there again, probably the good money's on him because he's got the Globe, he's got the Screen Actors Guild. So, they throw a surprise in there every once in a while.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll get back to your show in a moment. Just a reminder, you're listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Find out more at themesh.tv and give us feedback on what you like. And now, as promised, back to your show.
Okay, so now we're going to move to animated feature film, of which I have an idea Mary Margaret has seen more of these than me.
I've seen a lot of these.
Her kids are younger than mine, so that helps. I have only seen Coco.
Oh.
That is the only one I've seen. Also nominated are The Boss Baby, The Breadwinner, Ferdinand, and Loving Vincent. Mary Margaret, how many of these have you seen?
I have seen The Boss Baby, Coco, and Ferdinand.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
See, I have a chance to see Boss Baby because I think it is actually on Netflix.
It is.
So I guess I'll watch it.
I mean, you really don't have to.
Okay, well,
I'm just telling you don't have to.
It doesn't have a snowball's chance of
Pretty
winning
sure
this
it
category. I mean, I can't imagine it winning.
No.
So
not up against some of these other ones that I know of.
So I'm going to say, toss it to you first.
Okay.
You've seen more. So what do you think will win, and what do you think should win?
I don't know anything about the two that I haven't seen, Loving Vincent or The Breadwinner. So I can't truly judge anything from those.
Right.
Obviously, they're nominated. They're bound to be good.
But on that, I haven't seen them either.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I've only seen Coco. But Breadwinner is, air quotes, kind of an important one that has a message.
Okay.
And I've heard it is good. but not enough people have seen it.
Right,
So
right.
I don't think that stands a chance. Loving Vincent, it's about like the last couple of days of Vincent van Gogh's life or something, but it is animated, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
And I've heard that's also good and actually like really visually inventive.
Yeah.
But there again, not enough people have seen it. So
yeah.
I don't think it stands a chance.
I think Coco's going to win. I think it probably should win. It is excellent. I thought it was great. The music's nominated from it as well. I enjoy that. My kids do love that song and sing it. Ferdinand is just, I think, a little bit more of an emotional tie to a lot of people because of the book.
The book, sure.
That a lot of us, have known since we were little. I read that book to my children when they were that little, so it actually was already in their heads, when we got to the movies. Yeah, so I thought that was, Ferdinand is cute, and Ferdinand is got a good moral story to it and whatnot. But I think Coco's going to win, and if the Boss Baby even comes close to winning, I will get up and walk out. I was super, super surprised anytime I've seen Boss Baby nominated on any of these award shows.
Oh, so has it been nominated more than, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I'm hoping there was just a small pot to choose from or something. I just did not enjoy it. I thought it was silly.
Well,
It's not what...
I think in the past, for animated feature films, they have sometimes done 3 or 4. They haven't had to stick to the 5.
Yeah.
I admit, I almost fell out of my chair when I saw it, that Boss Baby was nominated. I was like, really?
Yeah.
It
is a smart aleck little baby that is running a mob underground service of babies. Like, it's silly. It's just not, it doesn't even make sense. My kids didn't even care for it that much, and that's hard to do with my girls. That's hard for them not to like a movie, and especially when there's babies in it. But this one, they have no desire to see again. Okay,
so I'm with you. I think Coco is going to win, and I think it should win. Because it's just honestly it's the only one I've seen, but I really do think it's
beautifully done though.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing animation work, too.
And a lot of times with animated movies, because I am such a jaded person now, and my kids are older, so I'm kind of like, well, whatever. I don't get as much into them. I'll see them one time, and I'll be like, whatever. And then when I revisit them, I like them more. Like, even though I love Lin-Manuel Miranda, and I love his music, when I saw Moana the first time, I was like, it's okay. And I just kind of discounted it. Now, I like it a lot more than I did.
Agreed.
Have to say, Coco... First time through, I was like, this is pretty special. So
this one kind of hit me dead on because honestly, I didn't realize the movie was what it was.
Okay, so you kind of went in with no idea.
I went in pretty blind
Coco,
to what it was. I'm assuming that's the little boy that plays the guitar in the trailer. It's not.
Right.
It was really a surprise, a welcomed surprise. And my kids are crying during it and laughing. And then there's just emotion of all kinds. I thought Coco was great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So I think it will win.
Okay.
That's the one. Yes.
Fair enough.
Okay, so we can move on now to directing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. This is a big one, right?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
The nominees are Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, Get Out, Jordan Peele, Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig, Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson, and Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, cool category.
Yeah.
Who do I... this is tough. I'll say, okay, who do I want to win? It's a tie. It's a tie between Jordan Peele and Greta Gerwig.
Same.
Because
Can we go ahead and say that? Mine's the same.
Absolutely. I like, this is a rare instance. Usually I have like a favorite in the directors because I'm a film nerd. So I'm like, I want them to win so bad.
Yeah.
I like all these guys.
Yeah.
I think I like a lot of their films. So I don't really, but I think just because of the young fact, Jordan Peele, who knows, just came from out of nowhere. He made this movie. He was an actor. He was
Comedy
a writer.
Sketch artist.
But just to direct this movie and have it be so huge, but it's the first time out award, so I don't know if you'll get it because of that. Same thing with Greta Gerwig. Amazing. She's an actress and everything, but for her to write this movie, direct it, awesome, amazing first movie. But it's your first time out.
Right.
So that's who I'd like to see. Now, who do I think will win? Man, having not seen Phantom Thread, but Paul Thomas Anderson can direct the hell out of a phone book movie. So, I just don't know. I I think just because this may be the one award it sneaks away with, might be Dunkirk. Maybe, but it's I think it could go anyway, because between Shape of Water, Phantom Thread, and Dunkirk, those three directors, I just think it's a tight race. But I think maybe Dunkirk, just because that's the only love it's going to get at all.
Okay,
and it was a pretty big achievement, made a lot of money, and I felt like was innovative and well directed. So
sure,
maybe that's who will win. But who do I want to win? Either Jordan Peele or Greta Gerwig. What do you think?
I think that Guillermo del Toro is going to win.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And I think that I would love to see Greta Gerwig win. First of all, to be a lady up there on the stage.
Which, sometimes Oscars does kind of like the whole, women in Hollywood,
right.
this may be their chance to be like, okay.
We're sticking with the movement right now, right?
Right.
But I do have to say, I listened to, on Sirius XM Radio,
okay.
I listened to the 90s on 9 had a special segment where Greta Gerwig hosted.
Wow.
And she did her playlist. Okay. And it was the Lady Bird playlist.
Okay.
Not just, songs from the movie, but I mean, obviously, if you've seen the film, that that the 90s theme throughout.
They did have Crash on the playlist?
No, they did not. She did have another Dave Matthews song, but and I think that's again why Lady Bird kind of speaks to me a lot, is just that is just straight up in my wheelhouse right there. And her playlist, and then her describing reasons of why not only she chose certain songs for the movie and such the detail of the thought that went into choosing these songs. She was doing it. Greta was doing this for this movie that she was directing, and she had such an integral part in through every bit of it. And I just think she was amazing. Like, after listening to her playlist, I was just like, yes, I am on your train. Like, I will follow you wherever with this right now. So I want her to win. I think Guillermo del Toro is going to win.
Fair enough.
Rightfully so. I think he's brilliant on that. And I agree with you. I mean, that's a hard category because you can't really go wrong with any of them. I don't know jack about Phantom Thread. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know anything about it. And I haven't obviously seen it. But but like you said, I mean, it's Paul Thomas Anderson. I know that he can do that. So
he's
it can't
kind of
be
like
bad.
He's the movie geek darling. It's Paul Thomas Anderson. But having not seen the movie, and I'm sure it's good, I don't know. I can see swaying towards Shape of Water, Del Toro. Because there is more buzz behind it.
I think he's a little bit of the sparkle this year, if it makes sense. We say that on Chick Chat sometimes too. That's just the sparkle factor. Like, that guy's got the shine on him. He's the sweetheart. He's the one that everybody thinks, is just so cute with his accent and how he does, and he shut up the people on the Golden Globes whenever they tried to get him play him off. He basically shut down the music, and everybody just ate it up.
Okay.
And I think people want to hear him speak again. I do. But again, I really want Greta to win.
Yeah.
I say Greta like I know her, like we're friends.
Well, don't you want to? I mean, that's the thing.
I do.
You just, from everything she's ever done, the movies she's been in, you're just like, I want to hang out with her.
I think we would be friends. Frances McDormand, not so much. Greta Gerwig, I'm all about her.
I can see that.
I am here for her, for sure. Yeah, so I think, we might be, who knows, that one we could be totally surprised on.
Right. I think, and the thing is, which is rare, anybody who wins in that category, I'll be happy. Sometimes you're like, why did they have to pick that one? Boss Baby wins, you and I'll both be upset.
Absolutely, yes.
I haven't seen it, but I'm still going to be upset.
But no, I can tell you would be.
Right. But, for those directors, it's like, they're all deserving. It's all good. Who knows? Okay, so last category we're going to cover, because we could spend all day if we covered all the categories, will be Best Picture. Nominees are Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and of course, Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Okay, Mary Margaret, digest, take a moment, and then say, who do you want to win?
Okay.
And who do you think will win?
Okay.
And by this time, I think we've kind of mentioned how we haven't seen, which movies we have and haven't seen. So,
well, and in this one, I haven't seen Darkest Hour,
Cinematic Vegetables, haven't seen Darkest Hour either.
Yes.
So, okay.
Right. And I'm taking that term home with me, cinematic vegetables. I'm taking it home with me.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. It's a tough one. I would really like to see Lady Bird win. They won't.
I don't think it will.
I don't think they will. I would like to see them win again for Greta Gerwig,
Sure.
for the cast, the story, which is just more personal to me, I think, time-wise in my life. It's so tough because Call Me By Your Name was so beautiful, and so was Shape of Water. But I think Three Billboards is going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want Dunkirk to win.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't want Dunkirk to win. And I really don't want The Post to win.
Which I don't think it would.
Right. Agreed.
Because of all the movies, like, Darkest Hour, the buzz that gets is for Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
The Post, the buzz that's getting, of course, is for Meryl Streep, who's nominated. Poor Tom Hanks, you're not.
Sure.
But, so,
Snibbed.
and a lot of times they say if you're not nominated for director, then you normally aren't going to win for Best
Course.
Picture. Not always true.
Right. Sure,
Not always
sure.
true. But usually, you can kind of knock out the ones that weren't nominated for Best Director because you're like, well, they ain't going to win Best Picture.
Yes.
So, but like you say, this is going to be one of those instances. McDonough was not nominated for Best Director.
Right.
But I think they'll probably do Best Picture for Three Billboards, which is going to upset a lot of people.
Yep. Yep.
Now, they could do the whole thing where Best Director goes to Guillermo del Toro, and they also give it to him for Best,
Yeah.
which sometimes does happen when they double
Yes.
up. Yeah, kind of a tough category. Of course, they gave us 9 movies, so how could
And
it
that
not
wasn't
be?
necessary. I don't think it was necessary at all.
No.
But no, I do think Three Billboards is going to win. I would like to see Lady Bird. I would be okay with Shape of Water or Call Me By Your Name.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. See, I think Three Billboards will win, but I liked Lady Bird, but it was so built up for me.
Yeah.
And I really like Greta Gerwig, and I've seen the other stuff she's been in, so I really like her. So I liked it.
Yeah.
I have only seen it once.
Yeah.
I think if I went back and saw it again, it would probably go up in my estimation of how much I like it. But I was really blown away by Laurie Metcalf as the mom.
Yes.
Saoirse Ronan, she was good, but
Sure.
I just the thing is, she's not Greta Gerwig.
Right.
And so
She's
normally
playing a character.
Yeah, right. So it's normally. And basically, people say it's kind of autobiographical about Greta Gerwig's life. So the whole time I'm watching Saoirse Ronan, I'm like, yeah, but in a way, I wish Greta Gerwig could just do that because she's the best Greta Gerwig because she is Greta Gerwig.
Yes.
So, but that's not a knock against Saoirse Ronan. It's
Sure.
just in my head, I couldn't get that out.
Nope, I agree with you. And I think Lady Bird, to me, hits me sort of like back in the day when My So-Called Life came on TV, and it was that one season only, and everybody was just in tears when it didn't get renewed.
Sure.
Because you felt so much like as a female, as a girl growing up in that time, I felt like I found something in every scene that was like, oh my gosh, that was just so much. I totally did this, totally went through this.
Sure.
So I think that's why it hits me personally, Lady Bird does, because I feel like there were several parts that I was just like, I'm Greta Gerwig. This is, oh my gosh, we really would be friends. But, like I said, I think the buzz behind Shape of Water, I don't think that Call Me By Your Name will win, but I think it is a lovely movie.
Yeah, I think just there not enough people. So a lot of people have seen
Exactly,
it,
but not enough. And Get Out kind of has that same thing, like you were saying. It's been too long since it came out. Now, if Get Out would have come a little bit closer, I do think it could be pushing the boundary on some of these that we've kind of shooted off on, because it's truly this movie that crosses several genres and several planes of emotion throughout the whole thing. You think you're watching one thing and then something else happens and then it all changes, and
that's the thing.
It doesn't end how you think.
And Hollywood doesn't often, especially in the Oscars, reward that type of creativity.
Right.
If this was just a horror, it wouldn't stand a chance. If it was just a comedy, it wouldn't stand a chance. But it's that whole socio-political thing about what it's saying about the different topics that it touches on. That's why I think this thing is even in the conversation.
Right.
But because it is kind of doing so much that I don't think it's not. Oscars tend to nominate or reward, you're doing one thing and you're doing it really well, as opposed to doing a lot of different things. So I think if it was been released more recently, yeah, but I don't. I'm going to go ahead and say Three Billboards I think will win, but who do I want to win? I'm going to actually give some love to Dunkirk.
What? Really?
I am. I mean, I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, although, was not the biggest fan of Interstellar.
Okay.
But I will say the thing was, I like him a lot as a director, and I'm kind of in general done with World War II movies.
Yeah.
I just, it's kind of cinematic vegetables for me.
Sure.
I go see them if they get a lot of buzz. But other than that, I'm just like, I kind of know the story.
Yeah.
You're not showing me anything new. With Dunkirk, the way he wove timelines and put you in different areas and stuff
I do think that was very well done.
And it was just, to me, it was something different, and it made me go, okay, that was cool. And like a lot of silence sometimes, not a lot of dialogue. It was innovative enough that it made me, I really liked it. Now, because of that,
excuse that it was a World War II movie.
Because I'm just but I think because of that, just like with Get Out, I don't think it's going to win.
Yeah. Now, Dunkirk did get a lot of technical nods. I know we're not going into that route, but they got a lot.
And see, I think that's the bone that Dunkirk is going to get thrown.
Agreed.
It's not going to get.
They're going to rack up in some of these other ones, but not the big boy.
I wouldn't think so. And merely, I mean, he was nominated for directing, but I just. Yeah, I think it's going to be the technical stuff.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
So.
Yeah. Now, I know that's all of our categories.
Yeah, anything else you want to throw out?
But I did have a note that I made after I listened to the announcements this morning. So, just because you are the pro on this show, I'm throwing this out to you, and this is on the fly. For anyone listening, I've not prepared him for this.
Uh-oh.
But, so we mentioned that James Franco snubbed.
Now, the comment you made about, is he someone else who's been accusations have been made? Okay, so that's where you're saying he would be like.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, that's way more chick chat topic, I guess.
No,
but yes, it is definitely. He has been accused.
There are allegations,
and has some outstanding, and he kind of caught some grief for being at the Golden Globes and wearing one of the "It's Time" pins.
Okay,
and literally a couple days after the Golden Globes being accused of this. And he kind of came out on, maybe it was like Jimmy Kimmel or it was one of the late night shows and said, I don't know what they're talking about. And then it kind of came out even more. Yeah, it just got kind of dirty. And so then he, apparently at that time, there was still some voting open for SAG Awards, I believe. Or nominations for something else. And everybody was like, he might have already had enough votes mailed in to make the nominee list. So we don't know if that would work. Well, he was nominated for the SAGs and chose not to show up.
Got you.
And everybody's like, good, don't.
Right.
That's the way it was. So
interesting.
He got snubbed, though, and so people were pretty sure that was going to affect nominations for the Oscars.
Okay.
It's the Christopher Plumbers coming into play now, right?
Right.
So we talked about that, but Wonder Woman.
Oh.
There was some talk early on that would be worthy of some nomination stuff.
Yeah.
And they were snubbed. And everywhere, I believe.
And that's a shame because Gal, you can pick one of 18 different ways to say her last name. I'm going to go with Gadot. She is really good in that movie. And it's a shame because, don't get me wrong, I am burned out on comic book movies.
Yeah.
I loved them when they first came out. But as much of a nerd as I am, I'm kind of done with them.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, man.
It's different, right?
Different and best one in a while.
Yeah.
It's a shame that the director,
and
who's also a lady,
it's
a shame the director didn't get nominated. A shame that Gal didn't get nominated. But not a surprise.
Yeah,
it's a comic book movie,
right?
But still, and it made a lot of money, and a lot of people saw it. But it did it got snubbed, and that's too bad.
Yeah, we also mentioned Tom Hanks didn't get mentioned. All the Money in the World, not as a movie, brought in anywhere. Which I think, unfortunately, that you think that all publicity is good publicity, and probably not in this case.
Sure.
And then I, Tonya was not in Best Picture, which most people were predicting that it was going to be.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because of the Oscar heavy numbers category. being that you could have 9 of them up there, they were kind of saying, well, you've got Best Actress, Best Supporting Actress,
True.
all this.
True.
And you didn't get a movie nod, a Best Picture. So, I don't know. There's a couple surprises. You're never quite sure what's going to happen. But those are ones that I was kind of waiting to see what happened with them, and I didn't hear anything. So,
Sure.
yeah. But I'm okay with the nominations.
Yeah.
I mean, not like they asked me, but still.
Well, right. But I had not thought about Wonder Woman, but that's unfortunate. I guess that she can get it. But Mary J. Blige from Mudbound was one of those directed by a woman.
Yeah.
And because it went to Netflix, I was like, no, it's not going to get anything.
Yeah.
But she did at least get a supporting actress, which is something.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I just feel like everybody said so much about how Wonder Woman was different.
Oh, yeah.
That maybe that would have given it that tiny little edge over.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it didn't. So
At least a nomination would have been nice.
Correct.
Probably not going to win,
Right.
but would have been nice.
Would have
be
loved to
nominated.
have your name listed from here on out as Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
Right. Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
So
yeah. True.
anyway. Yeah.
Well, Mary Margaret, thank you so much.
Thank you for
joining
having me.
It was a lot of fun.
Definitely.
We'll have to see how everything comes out in March when they announce the winners. But
March 4th.
yeah, it'll be
Not
interesting.
long. Yes.
No, and of course my opinions will probably change between now and then. So
Yep, and we'll have to discuss if we see any of the fill-in-the-blank ones that we haven't seen yet. So.
I'm going to try.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
try to see as many as possible, as per usual. But you've got me beat, which is kind of making me sad.
I've been trying, but like I said, I don't always use the real method of going to the movies. But I do enjoy my time after the kids are asleep at home at night to
Fair enough.
Chromecast up something on my TV.
Got you.
Yeah.
Cool.
But thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome. And that'll do it for this episode of Footcandle Films. See you in the ticket line.
Watch films out of the reverence of the heritage of an art. Watch films through the courtesy of Footcandle Film Society.
Special thanks to Carpal Tuller for the show theme music. For more about Carpal Tuller, visit www.carpaltuller.com. You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.